My name is Reju MJ. I am officer in charge of the latex harvester technology division of the Rubber Research Institute of India. In this division, we work mainly on almost all the aspects of rubber tapping, especially low frequency tapping, rain guarding, and everything related to tapping. Tapping is a method to extract latex from a rubber tree using specialized tapping knives by continuous excision of the bark and reopening the wound with a regular periodicity. A bud grafted rubber tree is ready for tapping when it attains 50 cm girth at 125 cm height from the bud union. A plantation will be ready for tapping when it contains 70% of such trees. Opening new plantations for tapping may be initiated during March-April months. Measure girth at 125 cm height from the bud union and mark the height using a marker knife. Find the half girth of the tree at 125 cm height and mark the opposite side also with the knife. Draw two vertical lines from the marks down to the bud union. The vertical line on the opposite side may be further extended a foot upward. The latex vessels in the bark run at an angle of 3 to 5 degrees from low left to high right, and therefore a cut from high left to low right will open more latex vessels. The bark to be cut is in half spiral at a 30 degree slant to the horizontal. A specially designed template suitable to the tapping system may be used to mark the half spiral guidelines on the bark. The slope is maintained to optimize the latex flow to avoid overflow of latex and wastage of bark. The tapping depth should be 1 mm close to the cambium. The slope should be marked annually using the template to maintain the slope and to control the bark consumption. Tapping should commence and complete before daybreak. Tapping from early morning to midday shows up to 30% yield loss. Low yield after daybreak is due to reduction in turgor pressure by way of transpiration loss of water from tissues. Sunlight and wind cause faster transpiration, significantly reducing turgor pressure. For tapping before the sunrise and tapping at night, headlights can be used. Before tapping a tree, scrap the cup and lace from the panel should be removed and put in the basket. Area close to the tapping panel should be cleared of dust and soil particles, and care should be taken that the chips of bark should not fall into the latex collection cups while tapping. Tapping defects usually encountered in the plantations are 1. Tapping slope more than 30 degree, sometimes less. Shallow tapping and tapping damaging the cambium. Tapping not kept to the rear or front channels, consuming more bark than required, and not fully tapping a panel. Tapping panel dryness can only be managed by means of reduced tapping intensity, early identifying trees with very low DRC levels in the latex, identifying trees with abnormal late tripping, and skipping of tapping on such trees for a time. This way we can manage tapping panel dryness. Tapping system with 2 days or more interval between successive tapping is an LFT. In third daily tapping, the bark consumption should be 1.75 mm, and that for fourth daily tapping and sixth daily tapping should be 2 mm and 2.5 mm respectively. Annual tapping days are 104, 78 and 52 in D3, D4 and D6 tapping systems with a day break weekly. Annual bark consumption is approximately 18 cm, 16 cm and 13 cm respectively for D3, D4 and D6 tapping systems having 1 day break weekly. Each panel can be tapped up to 7, 8 and 10 years respectively under D3, D4 and D6 tapping systems having 1 day break weekly. LFT is very useful in cost-effective rubber production by means of reduced annual tapping days. LFT is invariably accompanied by ethophone stimulant application. Number of rounds of stimulant application depends mainly on the tapping system and the clones. Panel application of 2.5% of ethophone is normally followed. Tapper shortage can be addressed to a great extent by adopting LFTs such as D4 and D6 tapping systems. Low incidence of TPD and better timber volume are advantages of LFTs. Tapping days should not be missed in LFTs because that will impact annual rubber production. Rain guarding is very crucial where low frequency tapping is in practice. Rainy season is very productive if trees are tapped regularly. Monthly share of the annual rubber production during the rainy season is about 10% each from July to September. From May to October, about 100 rainy days are reported in the traditional area. Rain guard work should be completed before the rainy season. Polythene skirt, Kisan rain guard and tapping shade are the 3 available rain guards. Rain guard should be perfectly placed or else any leak would spoil the latex. Rain guard should be annually renewed except for tapping shade which can last for 2 years. Prescribed number of tapping days can be maintained under rain guard conditions. Regular tapping and employment can be ensured with rain guards. Old and senile trees which do not yield appreciably can be tapped using CUT. CUT is useful when trees are not tappable on account of low yield from renewed bark or TPD incidents or deformed barks. Only a quarter of the circumference of high panel is required for CUT, except for D6 tapping where 1/3 of the circumference is needed. Modified gouge knife should be used for CUT. Angle of the slope should be 45 degree. Control upward tapping is normally practiced from C panel onwards. Tapping on high panel and low panel can be carried out alternatively for 6 months from C panel onwards. During rainy season, normal tapping with the rain guarding may be carried out, and during summer months, CUT may be carried out without a rain guard. When the tapping cut is a quarter panel, monthly application of the stimulant and stimulant application after every 2 tappings under D6 CUT are recommended.